This is the solution to the challenge I called Challenge Student Courses. You are basically given a template, a starting project with a bunch of comments in it, 3 different assignments, 1 in each button click event. And so to get started, I've already downloaded and unzipped the starting code and unzipped it to my desktop in a folder called cs-asp_051 challenge code. And I'm just going to grab the challenge student courses folder, copy that, and put it into my projects directory, and I will open it up like so into Visual Studio. And you can see that in addition to the default.aspx.cs, which has the click event handlers for 3 different assignment buttons, that looks like that. It also has a student class and a course class already created. And so all we need to do is just look at each of these assignments and then do what they tell us to do. So let's start with this first one. Let me make a little room here. And so we're going to create a list of courses. You can add 3 example courses, make up the details. Each course should have at least 2 students enrolled in them. Use object and collection initializers, iterate through each course, and print out the course's details and the students that are enrolled in each course. Okay, so again, this challenge was really meant to exercise object and collection initializers using the var keyword, using the for each iteration statement, and just to get your hands dirty in this. It's not really that difficult, I don't think. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to create a list of courses equals new list of course. All right, and we'll just use collection initializers, and that'll be a little bit tricky for a couple of reasons that you're going to see here in just a moment. So we need to add new course, so that's easy enough. We'll do new course, and we'll give it a course ID equal 1, a name of the course equals Econ 101, and then students, we're going to put that equal to a new list of student, and we'll use a collection initializer inside of the collection initializer. Whew. All right, so let's just go new student. I think that's what we need to do here. And then we'll set the student ID equal to 1 and the name equal to Bob Tabor. And I'm actually going to leave off the courses because I don't really need to do that this time around. So we created 1 new student. Now let's create a second new student. And that student ID will be 2, and the name will be Steve Jaworski. All right, so you can get lost here if you're not careful. Let's go ahead and end that, and then go to the next new course. And we'll give it a course ID of 2, and the name will be discrete math, and we'll set the students equal to a new list of student, like so. A new student, go student ID 3, name equals Brian Faley. And that's all we'll do there. And then we'll go another new student. Student ID equals 4. Name equals Chuck Ravetto. Like so. All right. Now, how many of these I got to create? 3 courses. Dang. Okay. Man, brutal. There we go. Are you happy with that? So now we'll create another new course. IntelliSense is worrying me here a little bit. Maybe I've missed something. I don't think I did, but I may have. So we'll say course ID equals 3, name equals history 302, whatever, and then students equal a new list of student, and we'll go new student equals new student. Student ID equals 5. Name equals Andrew Flowers. And then new student. Student ID equals 6. Name equals Andrew Scala. All right, and I think that's all I need to do. Last time I heard Andrew Sakala was an FBI agent. That's kind of cool. Of course, he couldn't tell me even if he was. All right, so that should do it. Now we just need to get rid of some of these excess items. I think that's all I need. And like that. All right, something's not quite right here. Actually, I think I did chop off some of these. Okay, so there we go. And sometimes you just need to count. Open 1, open 2, open 3, open 4, then open 3, and just keep counting and counting backwards until you get the right number. So that should be correct there. Now I need to just do a for each through each of these. For each, tab, var course in courses. Then we're going to go result label dot text plus equals, and we'll go string dot format, and that like so. So that will be the course dot ID and the course dot name. And then what we want to do is a for each tab var student in course dot students. And we'll do result label dot text plus equals string dot format. And here we're going to use the student ID and the student dot name. All right, I realize I've got a mess going on here. Let's do 0 and 1. And then, in fact, let's go and do some line breaking and such. Let's go line break, and then I'm going to go NBSP, which is a non-breaking space in HTML, and we'll go, and that'll give us a little indentation. In fact, here we'll go student, just to make sure there's no ambiguity here, and course. All right, let's see if that works. All right, I think that should work. Let's see if it works. All right, and it looks like it worked. Very cool. All right, so the next one is just kind of a variation on that one. I'm just going to go ahead and blow through it. Create a dictionary of students, add 3 example students, make up the details. Use the student ID as the key. Each student should be enrolled in 2 courses. 3 students, 2 courses. All right, here we go again. I tell you what, this time I'm going to do something a little bit different because that was kind of hairy, and you should never need to do that level of indentation, but it's cool to see it like that. I'm going to go ahead and just create a couple of students. I'll create 3 students and reuse them across the various courses. All right, so let's go student equals new student, and well, actually, let's not do that. Let's do courses rather. Courses, course 1 equals new course, and we'll just do the course ID equals 1, and the name will equal algebra 3. And course 2 equals new course course ID equals 2, name equals course 3 equals new course, and the course ID equals 3, and we'll go name equals business law. All right, so dictionary, int, and student, right? Okay, so int because we're going to use the student ID, which is an int, as the key. So students equals new dictionary students. There. All right, let's put an end to that line. And now we're going to use another set of curly braces, and we'll give it, first of all, the key and then a new student with the student ID of 1, the name equals Bob Tabor, and then courses equals new list of course. And here we'll add in course 1 and course 2. All right, did you like that? Okay, seems to be happy with that. So we're going to go like this and do a second one. New student. It's always the first one's the hardest, then you got a little pattern to work with from that point on. New list of course, and we'll do course 2 and course 3, and then finally number 3 and new student, and student ID equals 3, name equals Chuck Rivetto, courses equals new list of course, and we'll give that course 2 and course 3 and course 1, like so. And now we'll just do the same thing with the for each. So for each student in students, and we'll go result label dot text plus equal string dot format, and we'll give it the students student dot. All right, so here's where we got to make some decisions here. Let's go ahead and use the value. We could use the key, but I'm going to use the value. It's strongly typed. We're all good. So student dot value dot name, and let's go and clean that up. 1, and then for each student, what we want to do is do an inner for each tab var class in student dot classes, value dot class courses rather. Couldn't get that out. All right, there we go. Is it like that? No. This should be course. No wonder I confused myself. Okay. That's why I chose the word course in the first place, because class is a reserved word in C#. You can't use that for identifiers like we were going to use right here as a little variable inside of this for each loop. Okay, but we're all good now. So let's do result label dot text plus equals and string dot format. All right, and then like we did before, we need to add some line breaks here, like so, and 0 and 1. And in fact, what we'll do is course and student. And there's one more thing I wanted to do here. I forgot what it was. Course dot ID and course dot name. Oh yeah, I wanted an indentation, so we'll do that again with the ampersand NBSP semicolon NBSP NBSP. All right. So let's see if that works. Assignment 2. And that looks correct. Very cool. All right, so for the last one, we need to keep track of each student's grade from 0 to 100 in a particular course. This means at a minimum you're going to need to add another class, which I'm going to call enrollment. And depending on your implementation, you'll probably need to modify the existing classes to accommodate this new requirement. Give each student a grade in each course they're enrolled in, make up the data. Then for each student, print out each course that they're enrolled in and their grade. All right, so let's figure this out. First of all, I'm going to start by adding a new class called enrollment. And we're going to need a student and a course. So prop tab, course, prop tab, student, prop tab, int, and grade. I think we can get away with just that. All right, so I don't think we'll need to modify anything, but we might. I'm not quite sure just yet. So we're going to need to give each student a grade in each course that they're enrolled in. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. It doesn't say for how many. Let's just create one. So student equals new student. Yeah, now I remember what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to open up the student and add an enrollment, or actually, probably more properly, a list of enrollment. Now, I'm not going to remove the courses, but by all rights, we probably should remove courses enrollments if this was a real application. But since we have a dependency on that from the first and second assignment buttons, I'm just going to add this and ignore courses. All right. So let's continue on. In fact, enrollments, I'm not even sure that we needed the student property. Let's see. As I get into it, I'll know more. So we have a new student, and the student needs enrollments equals new list of enrollments. And so we're going to do a new enrollment. And so we'll set the course equal to a new course. Now, ideally, we would be given a course. We wouldn't just be making them up on the fly. But again, this is all hard coding for the purpose of learning this syntax, not because this is a real life scenario. Okay. So a new course with a course ID equals 1 and a name equals Physiology 101, I guess. All right. And we'll add another new enrollment course. Whoops. You know what? I don't think we gave it a grade on the last one. New enrollment course equals new course. Course ID equals 2, name equals, I don't know, project management 432, which is a real course, or at least I don't know about the number, but okay. So let's add the grade here in front so it doesn't get lost, and we'll say that Bob's got a 96 in there, and we'll say Bob is a good student, got a 92 in physiology, like so. Now, how many am I going to need to make? In a minimum class, depending on your implementation, you probably need to modify existing plan, then for a student print out the course that they're enrolled in and their grade. All right, so I'm just going to do, I guess I could use 4 each. Well, I'd have to create another student. Let's just print it out like this. I'm going to cheat you out of something here. So result label.text equals string.format student dot name, whoops, student ID. Let's put the ID first. There we go. And 0 and 1. And then we'll go for each tab var student students. Well, do I even have that? No, I don't. Enrollment in student dot enrollments. There we go. That's a little more like it. And then result text equals string dot format, and we'll pass in the enrollment dot course dot name, and then the enrollment. You can see how I'm able to just keep using the dot notation to go from one object to its related object to its related property, and that's common as well. Some people think that that's bad form. You shouldn't be allowed to do this. There's this pattern called don't talk to strangers, but most people do it anyway. If you had a really locked down object model where you had everything private and nothing out there public, or you had everything behind, private fields behind public properties, you could control that and stop that from happening, but anything goes now. So let's just do that, and then the grade. So let's go enrolled in 0 and then 1 grade, like that. And that should be good enough, I think. All right, so let's see if that third one actually works. Yeah, enrolled in. Well, I didn't even print out the student's name. What? Student. How did this not happen? And then, what did I miss? I didn't get the student. I didn't give him a name or an ID. You're supposed to be watching this stuff for me. How'd you let me mess this up? All right, let's see. Still messed it up. How is this possible? Oh, I'm a knucklehead. We want to do that. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. And there we go. Pete Wentz is enrolled in 2 classes. Okay, so that is the solution. It's more labor intensive. It's not difficult. It's just kind of fighting your way through all the sample data and the constructs. But I wanted to get you, again, writing object and collection initializers, and then maybe even faced with a couple of dilemmas like how in the world am I going to do something like we did here, or even more difficult was the previous one where we actually embedded a collection initializer inside of a collection initializer. So fun. Okay. All right. So hopefully you made it through that. We're going to go to a harder challenge, a mega challenge in the next lesson, in the next video. So we'll see you there. Thanks.